Guys, welcome back to the channel. S here from SNA's Orgonite Creations. Now, we're in the shed. We are making some Orgonite pendants, okay? So, this is the mold that I've got right now. So, it's just a metal mold. And, yeah, we're going to run through what we're going to be doing. We're going to go inside. We're going to make some copper coils. But how many we are making? There is 6. So, 4 down here and 2 up there. Now, they have been poured. Now, the first clear layer, I'll just, where's the camera? See? So, you can see there's resin in there. Right, so what we're making is one of our most powerful Orgonite pendants that we can create, okay? That we have found that works really well, get some good results, and people love it. I'll just show you the setup. Obviously, it's in the shed now. My shed's a mess, okay? So the shed, this is where the magic happens, where the Orgonite happens, and it's a bit of a mess, so I'm not going to give you a heaps detailed look at what it looks like, but yeah. I'm just going to run you through the setup. So always have some of these here. So this is a very large MWO, George Lakhovsky and Eric Dollard version. All right. So these here, when I'm working, they're putting out this energy all the time. They're capturing this energy, and they put out a field. It's a certain radius. I forget, but while working in here, I'm well within the range, and the Orgonite is slapping it up as it cures. That frequency is actually embedded within the resin, okay? So we've got one here. We've also got one here as well. I'll get into that. I'll tell you a little bit about that, what that's doing there. But we're going to be putting the same antennas as these, right, for the life force energy antenna, right? We've got the mini ones, okay? So these are exactly the same thing. So you've got the Eric Dollard on one side, and then you've got the George Lakhovsky on the other, as you can see. So these are going to be on the back of them. I mean, you can wear them whichever way you want, but they're designed to be on the back, so they'll go on last, and that will be up against the skin. So this side here will be up against the wearer, right? Yeah, so you are fully receiving those benefits as well. This really goes hand in hand with Orgonite, and it's going to really boost the orgone output, or life force, or chi, or scalar field, okay? That's going to really balance your own body's auras, and yeah, basically protect you from all the EMF bullshit and Wi-Fi 5G that's out there, okay? So that's what these pendants are aimed for. Mainly the real nasty stuff, the 5G, but you can look into what Orgonite is good for. These here are really, really strong, okay, and what we use for the ingredients, okay? So just run you through. I'm not going to go through everything what we do, but the bulk of it, okay, like with the ingredients and that. So these here will consist largely of the crystals. Will be black tourmaline, hematite, clear quartz. There's powdered up crystals in here, so selenite. This is quartz as well in here. So it's very, very fine, very, very dusty. All right, can't get, it's like bloody talcum powder, you know. Yeah, we're going to be using gold leaf, and this is real 24 karat gold leaf, okay? There's remnants of it in here because I messed one up one time. And you can see it actually gets attracted to you, okay? See that? So if it's fake, and then you can't get it off. If it's fake, if it's fake gold leaf, right, it will not do this. I know from experience, and it's so fine and so delicate, this real stuff, okay? There's other ways to know it's real, but that's one way, okay? So we'll put that in there. We'll put a sheet of it. So this is one sheet. Well, there's actually 6 sheets here stacked up, but that's what it looks like in there, and it is super delicate. So that'll all go in our Orgonite mix. So all of them will essentially have a sheet of real 24 karat gold leaf in there. That adds healing aspects to the Orgonite as well. Puts in the healing frequency, okay? And like I was saying before, with this energy and that, the resin itself will take on the energy as it cures. All right. So by doing that and putting frequency of certain crystals in it, the Orgonite, or the resin itself, is actually taking on those energies as it cures. All right. Then you got the whole Orgonite mix and how that works and how that attracts the orgone life force energy. The way we do it, the casimir effect produces life force energy in there. There's a lot going on. Don't want to make a huge video, but we'll see. You know, you can look at my other videos to find out other information, but these here are selenite as well that's going to go in there. So selenite sticks, like larger chunks. We're going to be making copper coils in there. Now, this one here, what's in here, I don't know if you can hear that, it's a liquid. But that's not what's in there. This is what we use. We use this to supplement with. This is just the bottle. It's actually a liquid that we make, and it actually always sits on there, okay? So it's always got that life force energy embedded within the liquid. Now that there is an ormus containing mineral liquid, okay? So it contains ormus elements in here, and we add that to our mix as well. We do add obviously shungite, our metal mix, so our ratios of metals to resin and all the rest of it. There is more that goes in here. There's metal shavings that goes in here as well. And yeah, so what I'm going to do now is we're waiting for this here to cure a little bit, get hard, so then we can add the next step. Now the next step is going to be copper coils down. Your Tesla or SBB copper coils cut to a specific length, which it vibrates and picks up the frequency of 144 megahertz. And they're going to go in there, so we're going to go inside and make them. And then we're going to go ahead and decorate what we need to do, and I'll run you through that. And then go ahead and mix our orgonite mix up, pour that down, and then we're going to go and add these here and a clear layer on top to seal it, okay? And that's it. All right, guys, let's go inside. All right, guys, so 6 coils are made for the 6 pendants that we are making. Now, as said before, they're all measured out, each individual piece of wire. Now, I do clean them up. You see how they're so shiny? All I've done is a piece of steel wool. Go ahead and give the wire a few strokes and just wipe it off, okay? You can see that. And that'll make them look nice and shiny, okay? So they look real new. So this is 99.9% pure copper wire. So, you know, basically it's 100% copper. And yeah, you can see what they've done, what I have done there. Now, bent the ends up here so that they are actually going to be embedded within the orgonite matrix, okay? So what we're going to do is go on the shed and set these up and see what they look like with the crystals and what I do. Okay, so next step. Now, I didn't film the process of me putting all this in. It's quite long and tedious. You wouldn't think so, but to get it all right in position and try to get it everything as even as possible takes a lot of time. So I've designed these ones so you can see the cord hole, which I'm going to have to draw afterwards, is going to be bang where my nail is, up in the top there in the center, okay? So everything, hang on a sec, if you can imagine, I mean, it's probably self-explanatory, but it lines up, you know what I mean? I mean, if this is right. So the bottom here and in the top there is going to be the hole. That's the middle, that's the line that I tried to make, if you know what I mean. So everything is even as possible. Now, so what we're going to do now is pour some resin on there, not very much. You just want to basically seal that in, very thin, as thin as you can film. You don't want to fill it up with clear, you want to fill it up mainly with Orgonite Matrix, yeah? So very thin, small, tiny, like just what we've done on the first layer, the front layer. And then what we're going to do is drop in clear quartz crystals, and they are going to be positioned smack bang, big old tweezers, these helps, bang in the center there, okay? So, and then followed by, I'll see what we're doing over here, then followed by a couple of selenite sticks on the outside, okay? So, and that's going to ensure that, well, the selenite itself, you can look up the properties of all the crystals, like the clear quartz, master healer. It's going to put out that piezoelectricity, black tourmaline is piezoelectricity as well, piezoelectric, all grounding stones like that, protection, EMF protection, the hematite, and the selenite, and that's going to keep everything cleansed and charged. We're going to be putting a lot more quartz and a lot more selenite powders in there. I'm going to crush up some more of that because this won't be enough. And yeah, we're going to get through and do that. So okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Clear layer in all of this, drop all those crystals in, plus the selenite. Alright, so we've got the resin mixed up. We'll let it charge, well, sit on here, as I said before, as it cures, which this here, the first layer has, it's gelled right up. It's firm, but not solid yet. But what I'm doing is, there's lots, if you can see, lots of bubbles, okay? So it's hard to see, yes. But what we'll do is just let it sit. Over time, it will come out. It'll take a little while, but yeah, we'll let that sit on top of this MWO. And yeah, then we'll go ahead and pour it. Now, I just want to show you this. So this is not what we're using right now, but if you stay tuned to the end of this here, video, there might be some bonus content. Now I'm saying maybe, or there might be, because I'm not 100% sure, but go ahead, watch the end of it, and then there'll be a bonus content, and you'll know if it is bonus content because I'll flash on the screen that it's bonus content. And yeah, this is good resin. This is completely non-toxic, clear total cast resin. It's good stuff, but it's going to be for a different project, okay? And I'll get into that, and I'll show you what I'm doing that. I'll even show you some orgonite mix, like what I'm going to be putting in there. And yeah, so it's not going to be a proper orgonite what we're doing here with everything in, but I will show you the orgonite mix that I'm putting in there, because this is going to be for a different project. And yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so that's done. You can see the layout there, with the quartz in the middle and the 2,6 selenite. Got the resin in there. It's all good. It's all hunky-dory, okay? So look at the overall. Some of them are really hard to see. Like you can see some of them see the selenite sticks. Some you can't. Some are more obvious with the quartz. As soon as quartz crystal, clear quartz gets wet, it's really hard to see anything. And it all depends, like if the selenite is submerged, how clear it goes. And yeah, all the rest of it, okay? So that's it done. Now you can see, just want to say, you can see the copper coil there. See how the little ends stick up? It's like that in all of them, you can see that? So it's very important that there's going to be embedded within the orgonite mix. So the orgonite matrix, that's the next step that we're going to pour in all of these. Alright, and that there, the coil is going to be embedded within that. Really picking up, because we know that there's very conductive copper, and it's 100%, well, near enough 100% pure copper wire. It's been cleaned up as well, and that there's really going to pick up and throw out that energy through that coil. Alright guys, on to the next step. Okay, now before we start doing the orgonite mix and mixing it all up and getting ready to pour, we need to see if it is done yet. So just have a look at this. So you can see that, you can see it's gelled up. It's solid, well, not hard, but it's very gel-like. Okay, so I would not be pouring on top of that. Okay, you might get quite a weird effect, and some of the metals and stuff might seep in through there, and it will look quite weird. So we will be waiting just a little bit longer. I just thought I'd want to show you that. Okay. All right, it's time for the next stage. So I'll just show you what I've done so far. Now this here is the remnants of some gold leaf. Now this one here didn't come off the paper properly, but that's all right. So 6 pieces of that in there, plus the little bit that I had in there earlier that you've seen. So that'll make up for that bit there, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, well, I'll put the resin in there, the required amount that I need. I know how much that is. And what we're going to do, because we vortex our resin mix, okay? And when we do our orgonite matrix, we vortex it, okay? So I'm going to show you just the resin with that vortexed, and you'll get to see it's all broken up into the small little parts, okay? Alright, so all I want to do here is just show you just the gold in the resin, how pulverized it is. See, and you can see how, yeah, it's just everywhere, you see that? So all this is going to be absolutely poured all through and evenly distributed through all those 6 pendants, okay? You can see that. So the vortexing has not been completed. All this is like I said, the resin with that gold in it, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and add everything else and vortex it again, okay? Right, so we're all made up here. We're going to go ahead and pour. Now I'm only going to do the start, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that there's even amount in each, because they should all be, obviously it's done by hand, all the same thickness, okay? That's what we're going for. So I'm going to turn it off here. I'm going to get this another mix to mix up what's left in there, so it's everything sporadically. I'm all about evenness. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, so all these are completed. You can see I tried to get the level exact. You can see by what I mean is like the gap here, how much metal is left exposed. Alright, so you try to get that as even as possible. One thing you're going to notice, especially with the way how we construct our orgonite, there's lots of bubbles because we vortex this and smash everything together. and make it so it's all even blend with all your crystal powders and just everything we add, all the gold like I showed you earlier. Heaps of other things we put in here, and yeah, you're going to get a lot of bubbles, you see. Now, there's many ways you can burst your bubbles, pop them. People use a straw, you can blow. Well, we like to just use toothpicks. And all you do is if you slur it around a bit, eventually they'll pop. Alright? Like, you'll get them all out. So I like to do it this way. It might take a little bit longer than some of the other methods. But I do find it works really good, okay? So you can see, like, there's a bit of a difference there, right? It's a little bit harder on camera too. I can focus without the camera. I can focus more on getting them and hitting them. But yeah, so we'll come back and do this a bit more. But the other methods are, like I was saying, so you can do it this way. You can blow on them with a straw. Some people use a lighter. Probably other methods as well. Or you can just simply let your resin sit for a while and let them, because they will burst themselves. If you watch, you'll see some of them, they'll just burst themselves over time, okay? But we like to go ahead and make sure we burst them to get most of them out. But another thing to note, do not use a lighter if you're using polyester resin. Alright? Just make sure the resin you're using is non-flammable if you're going to do that. Because if you do polyester, for example, obviously that's flammable, okay? So you don't want to do that. Like stuff like this, you can use a lighter for, okay? The epoxies, that's fine. Alright. So yeah, that's it for this step here. I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this. You can see the difference there now with the bubbles. But yeah, I'll show you the next step, which will be the final step and the MWOs, okay? Right, so we're up to the final layer, okay? So these here are going to be going in that way there with the larger antenna on, well, facing up, and the smaller one on the orgonite, okay? So what we need to do is mix up some resin. We need to put some resin on there first in each of them and then place it. The reason being is, oh, excuse the hand, you want there to be a thin layer without those plates there. Those, they are 24 karat gold plated copper, right? You don't want that to make contact with this surface, all right? So you want it to be on their own, sort of like this here now. These ones here, I've coated with resin. I haven't cleaned them up, so these are just for the shed, okay? So they are coated in resin, as you can see. Now that makes it a layer, it's not touching anything. But the reason being, so you have, it's kind of, if you think of it like Reich's orgone accumulator, so you had like organic and inorganic. So you got the resin technically is organic, and then you got the metal plated, gold plated copper there, okay? So you're creating a layer, so it's organic and inorganic, okay? And then it's the blue plate, so then it's inorganic again, because it's a fiberglass, or whatever it's made of, some sort of plastic like stuff, okay? And then yeah, so that's what we're trying to do here. So you want to create a barrier, so there's something in between that and the antenna, all right? And then you just put a bit more clear and seal it off. So we're gonna get going on that. I'll just show you what we're going for here. Now I've done one, now it's not in the center, that'll be able to be moved in a sec. So this here's the side that you want up. And I do like to get it as straight as possible. You see up the top how it's the gap with my top finger there? That there to be as straight as possible, because that there, right there, is where I'm going to drill a hole up top in the center. Alright, so I've poured a little bit of resin there. You can see it's beading over. All we do, drop that in there, you'll see it go different color sort of thing, because it's wet. See that? And all we do is push it down. Don't push it down heaps, just a little bit, because we still want to create that barrier. We don't want to make contact. Alright, and then you go ahead, seal that in. Alright. A better way to do it would be do a very tiny clear layer, and then let it dry, or don't have to let it dry all the way, but let it get jelly enough so there's no way it could make contact, and then do what I'm doing, where you put that down, then pour another layer on top of that. Alright, but that will make it also thicker if you do that. And these are already going to be borderline thickness, I think, because I've done these before. And like I was saying, these here are the most powerfulest orgonites, orgonite pendants that I've ever come across. I've been doing this for a while, and I do know what I'm doing here. And no, we do not tell you what our orgonite matrix is, okay? That's somewhat of a secret. We do have secret ingredients in here, right? Because we know how things work and just what's good, okay? So, yeah, these here will be handling 5G. They will be doing a lot of stuff what you want them to, alright? Alright, so this is what we're doing here. Alright, now I've been in the shed all day, okay? Like literally, I actually need more resin made up, so just a tiny bit more. I believe I might be able to get that. And that, I might scrape by, we'll see. So I'll put this down to drip so I can scrape it. We might be okay. Normally I'm pretty good at estimating or guesstimating what is needed. Some things I do know for a fact how much I need. Make sure that's the right way. Whoops, nearly did do it the wrong way, sorry. Is that the right way? Gaps up top, yep. Drop it in. Give it a little push. Now I'm going to straighten these all up more. Alright. Which way are we doing this? It's harder on camera, it really is. Alright, drop that one in there, last one. Alright. Remember, not push down so hard, just tap it in. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can get some out of here, scrape in there. And stay tuned, might be doing some of that bonus content. If not, it'll end here. But that's it. Stay tuned for the part 2, or I'll just roll it all into one. It'll be one long video. You probably know that by now, what sort of video I do. But that is it for this making. And stay tuned for more videos and see the end result of these here at the mold, okay? And what I do, drill them, do them up. They're going to be schmidt. One of these is actually a custom order for someone off of Etsy. And that is it. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're here to the end, cheers. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so this is it. Bonus content. There's nothing to do with these here pendants that you just see me make. They are all complete. We will just test to see where they're at. Yep, hardening up nice. See that? So it's good. Alright, so using this here resin here, it's a 2-part epoxy. Ratio is 1:1, so that's in there, okay? Alright, we haven't mixed it yet, we just poured it all together. What we're going to do, orgonite mix. Alright, this is not everything that we actually put in there. I've got a little bit of colour in there. As you can see, it's purple, because I want this thing to bling. Bling? So what it's going to be, I'm going to be pouring it into that, right? So what it is a syringe. I've cut off the end there. There's one there. I cut off this bit here and blocked it up with blue tack, right? Pulled the plunger out. Here's the plunger. We don't need that. And I'm just going to fill that, okay? The reason being, what I want to do is make somewhat... Everything in here is essentially... It's going to make orgonite work, okay? So there's a few ingredients in here. Different crystals, shungite, black iron oxide... yeah, certain crystals and stuff like that. I'm going to add one more thing, the ormus containing minerals in there as well. But yeah, this here is essentially orgonite. We put more stuff in our actual orgonite, but this here is just going to be a handle. So I'm going to make a handle, so it's just a round long tube like that, and I'm going to get a little tiny lathe and make a handle. So that there's something completely different, not really orgonite related. But if it turns out how I want it to, I'll do a video on what I'm making, okay, and show you what it's actually for. So it's not just orgonite, I'm making something, and it needs a handle, okay. Alright, so orgonite matrix content. Just gonna pour this all in here. All the goodies, all the crystals, all the shungite, all the everything. I'm gonna blitz that up, well, vortex it. There we have it, something so simple. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this to give you the heads up. So like I said, if this here works out, there'll be additional video, a follow-up on what I'm actually making, okay? So you know it's a handle, it's an orgonite handle, you know, everything that's in there, will make it work like Orgonite, and how we've made it. There was a little bit left over, so I went ahead and just tipped it in there. Why not? And yeah, I might put a backing on that though, okay? So like, could put another one of these on the back, or a couple coils, or an array of crystals or something like that on the back, or whatever I choose, really. But yeah, stay tuned for more on this. If it works out, there'll be a follow-up, and you'll know about it. And stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.